Hi everyone, my name is Matt. I'm the youth and family pastor at Cornerstone Church in Marshfield. I'm here today with your Cornerstone Connection, a daily devotional. So I have a question for you as we begin this day is this. What does love look like to you? What does love look like to you? Now, there's this thing you may have heard of Gary Chapman. He's a Christian leader, Christian author. He has taught and shared for going way back 5 love languages. There's 5 love languages. Everybody's loved in unique ways, and everybody loves in unique ways. So I wonder for you, what does love look like to you? And I ask that question because as we dive into this book of Psalms today, we go to Psalm 116. The psalmist has this opening statement. It's a great statement. He says this, Psalm 116 verse 1. I won't even read the whole verse. He says, I love the Lord. He says, I love the Lord. Now, I want to pause there because if you were writing this psalm and you were to continue the rest of that verse, what would be the why? You write, I love the Lord, and then he's going to go on to state why he loves the Lord. My question for you is, why would you say I love the Lord? If you were writing Psalm 116 today, how would you fill in the blank? I love the Lord because what? Well, I want to turn our attention to what the psalmist writes, because I think that whether we would write the very same thing, my hope is that we could all agree with the why that the psalmist gives for his love for the Lord. All right, so here we go. Psalm 116 verse 1, here's what the psalmist writes. I love the Lord, for he heard my voice. He heard my cry for mercy, because he turned his ear to me. I will call on him as long as I live. I think his reason for his love for God is quite clear. 3 separate times he talks about the fact that God heard him. He heard his voice. He heard his cry for mercy. He turned his ear to the psalmist. We might just summarize it this way. The psalmist loves God because God has listened to the psalmist. And it's quite clear as we move on into this psalm that God, of course, has always heard the psalmist, but at his most desperate time, his most difficult time, God has proven that he hears him. We go on in verse 3. The cords of death entangled me. The anguish of the grave came upon me. I was overcome by trouble and sorrow. Then I called. I lifted my voice. I called on the name of the Lord. O Lord, save me. The Lord is gracious and he's righteous. Our God is full of compassion. The Lord protects the simple-hearted. When I was in great need, he saved me. And then he talks to himself. I love this. Verse 7. Be at rest, we might submit. Be at peace once more, O my soul. For the Lord has been good to you. I don't know how you filled in the blank when I challenged you to do so. I love the Lord because fill in the blank. You might have had various reasons. I love the Lord because he gave us 78 degrees in late October. I love the Lord because I have a wife and 3 healthy boys. That would be a very valid reason. I love the Lord because I have a great career and I get to do what I love. However you might fill in the blank, there are so many reasons to love the Lord, but isn't the reason that the psalmist gave a great reason? I think about my relationship with my wife. One of the reasons that we love each other is because we're willing to listen to each other. Now, do we do that perfectly? No. Just ask my wife. A couple of nights ago, I had to apologize because I didn't listen well. But we try. And we try to turn our ears towards the other because we know that listening equals love. And so, the fact that the psalmist declares how God listened to him in his most desperate moment, it's true that God listens to us at all times. His ears are always attentive to his children. He desires for us to call out to him. And the scriptures, we know this because the scriptures talk about praying without ceasing. And to never stop praying, but constantly come to God. He is constantly turning his ears towards his children. He wants us to come to him. He wants to hear us. Can you believe that? The God of the universe, the God who created everything that your eye can see outside of your window today, and he created you. He loves you so much and he wants such a great relationship with you that every time you talk, he wants to hear your voice. And he turns his ear to you. He turns his attention to you. Whether you're in the deepest, darkest of moments or you're up on the mountaintop or you're somewhere in between, our God loves you and he shows that through his listening. Friends, don't forget that today as you go about your day, whatever it may entail, may you remember that you have a God who intimately created you for a relationship with him, and his ears are attentive to your every word. Have a great day, friends. We'll see you next time on the Cornerstone Connection.